Hi, I'm Javaune Simpson, and welcome back to Speak Up. Now, for today's topic, we're talking about. Hi, I'm Javaune Simpson, and welcome back to Speak Up. Now, for today's topic, we'll be inviting a guest to speak here with us and speak up as pertains to this topic. And I'm pretty sure you'll be able to, see it in the title, there, so you know what it is that we're about to talk about. And yes, we're about to have a conversation surrounding um, you know, recent events surrounding one, named Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, I know the backstories of what persons might have in their heads currently as it pertains to Sha'Carri Richardson. However, we'll not be taking it from that standpoint only, perhaps to make jokes or laughs about it. We'll be talking about it in the speak up way. We'll be applying some psychology to it. We'll be, having a pretty, pretty good conversation about this particular person and all the events surrounding her, as much as we possibly can, of course. Now, to speak on this topic with me is none other than, Phillip Pitter himself. You guys should be, pretty familiar with him because we've done videos before, and he's also, one of my brothers that I do videos with in terms of a different project that we have going on called Two and a Half Stooges. So if it is that you're not familiar with that one, you can go ahead and check it out, or perhaps check it out right there in the description. I'll perhaps try and leave a link there for that. But if it is that you can't wait and that just type it in YouTube, two and a half Stooges, and you should be pretty much entertained by that. But enough said, let's get right into the video as it is a Zoom meeting. The whole COVID-19 restrictions and all these things, and the hour of the day, we had pretty much no other choice other than to make it a Zoom meeting. And so I hope that it will be interesting to you and you enjoy and you leave comments in the comment section there. Let us know what it is that you think about the discussion that we're having, and yeah, let's get to it.
Yes, good day, everyone. You know who it is, your boy. So, your boy Kirk Franklin. So, I thought you were silent, bro. Whoa, whoa. Okay, so
So
I am not.
for the viewers, don't think that Peter is talking to the Holy Spirit right now. He's actually speaking to his wife, Mrs. Peter. So shout out to her. Shout out to
Yeah,
Charm.
she said, I'm nobody's boy, I'm her man. So let me just clarify that.
Hey!
Yes. So
We're gonna use it.
let's get that out of the way.
Definitely.
But today was an interesting day. Everyone across the country were glued to their TV screens or their phone screens,
Yes.
looking forward to, it would seem, the race of the century. There was a Miss Sha'Carri. Some people say she can't. Some people say she didn't. They have all different versions of her name. Sha'Carri Richardson, who is an up-and-coming track and field athlete. She does the 100 and 200. She's a sprinter. She was slated to run in the 100 meters today with Elaine, Shelly, Sharika, and Brianna. But it seems that somehow we lost her at some point during the race. I've heard that she's still running in the dark. I don't know, but it did not look good. I can say that much.
Well,
It didn't.
we are in the shade with Peter trying, show and all these things. Or probably the tree. A tree might try to fling after her. But despite all that, I told the viewers that I would not be taking the the side of actually making fun of Sha'Carri alone, but actually looking at it from a psychological standpoint. Reason being is this: a lot of persons made a point of the fact that she lost her mother, I believe, recently, and that was one of the stories that actually made it even more interesting for her going into the trials, the US trials, to make it into the Olympics. And I believe it was at that point that she ran 10.72, which at that time, or even now, would make her the 6th fastest woman ever to run 100-meter sprint.
Yeah.
So with that, and then again, I'll say this, and I'm not saying this to offend anybody, but we know the hype, the glam that Americans bring to the sport, the boast that they bring to the sport. And so with that, I believe that she was pretty much, I don't know, I guess consumed by the fame or newly found popularity. And
the thing is that we have to consider that Americans are naturally good at marketing and PR.
There we go.
So
that's true.
I have a theory that she knew that she wasn't going to win today. But think about it. She would have been out of race practice. We know that because every Jamaican is a track and field expert. We know that how the season is set up is that you're supposed to peak at a certain time.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's when you're able to run your fastest. But because of the whole issue of her doping violation, she wouldn't have been able to do a lot of meets, competitive meets, because of the month-long ban. So she was literally out of race shape. Not out of shape, but out of race shape. Right? And you're looking to run against somebody who has run 10.61 or 10.64 Ilian. And Ilian was looking at
10.61 coming out of Olympics.
And she was pointing like she was doing the Usain Bolt. She had something left in the tank. And she even in her post-race interview, she was saying that there's something left in the tank. Look forward for it.
Yep.
You never go run
a left that. Huh?
Sha'Carri, so she never go run a left sheet. But
I mean, good point you make. Looking at it from the marketing standpoint, because even leading up to the race, right? You found that there was an advertisement. There was an advertisement from, I don't remember who actually paid for that advertisement, but she was in the advertisement and she was saying, meet her at the line. That was basically the quoted part.
I haven't seen that one. It could be Nike though, because I know that
I think it could very well be Nike. And I think even leading up to the race, one of the things that we realize is that not only was she being marketed to the extreme, but persons were now questioning, is it that she can actually live up to this? Well, Jamaicans were questioning that. Americans were fully invested in it because they were like, she's gonna deliver like Beats, Nike, what else? Those are like two
I think
brands.
And she did an ad. I think the Beats ad was in conjunction with Kanye's album dropping.
Here we go.
So she became this big figure in the culture. So there was some momentum going there for real.
And within a short time to it, what you realized was that she jumped from, I believe, a couple thousand followers to now, I think, 2.3 million the last time I checked today. And
so
you look at
so she win.
Exactly. When you look at that, you look at let's say Shericka Jackson, for example. Shericka Jackson has I think 100,000 subscribers on Instagram. 100 something
followers
on Instagram. Then you have, you know that Brianna has about 115 thereabout as well. Then you have Elaine And I'm just doing it in order in terms of who has the least to the highest. Then you have Elaine with about 300,000. Then you have Shelly-Ann with about 500,000. Remember, Elaine and Shelly-Ann, would be the real persons who would have had actually a resume to say, yo, we can actually do this.
Matter of fact, if we're being objective about it, Brianna would even have a more impressive resume because
of course
Brianna has a World Junior title and she won it at age 16.
And she has an
Olympic 4x1 gold. Then Sharika has a couple silver medals. I think she has at least one silver medal in the 400.
Yeah.
I think she got a medal in the 4x4 last time. Then in this Olympics alone, she got bronze in the 100. Then she was able to get the gold in the 4x1. Then she got bronze in the 4x4. So you realize that there is more to it than just achievement.
And then when you look
in terms of capturing people.
And then even to add to it for Sharika, she has a pretty fast time, 10.76.
If Sharika was born in a different generation, she would be the woman.
Definitely. So I don't know where she's ranked. I don't, because if Sha'Carri is the sixth fastest, I don't know. Sharika Jackson is probably in the top 10 as well. But I know that, BCB, Veronica Campbell, she has a good time as well. I don't remember what her time is. But bringing it back to Sha'Carri, we realized that the excitement was actually surrounding her. And I say the excitement because even when you go to the pre-run today that we had, leading up to the race, I was actually watching it from a biased standpoint because I was on NBC watching it, right? And you can probably guess it. NBC wasn't even promoting Jamaica one bit. Like, you didn't even know that Jamaica was in the race until you see Shelly-Ann, Elaine, Sharika, and Brianna, right? As a matter of fact, you didn't even know that anybody else was in the race because the focus was just on Sha'Carri Richardson. And that was it was interesting watching it from that point of view because you know that if it was actually Jamaicans actually, doing the broadcast, then
it would have been
perspective
different.
would have been different.
And then it would have even been a little bit more balanced because yes, we would have pushed our own. But the showdown between them and her, it would have really been a major stickling point at the broadcast. They would really have worked that.
Yeah.
But when we look at it, we have to also bear in mind that when it comes on to self-inflated egos, sad to say, literally the United States is a country surrounding that concept. When you win the NBA, them say you're a world champion, and American teams alone you play. When you win Major League Baseball, you're known as world champion. When the only other team in the United States you play. So them basically said, look, this is where we are. This is the world.
This is where the showdown happens.
So even with their superiority over the years, with BCB, we have to go back to Merlin. Merlin really crawled in order for VCB to walk and Shelly to run, and now Elaine to be running this fast. So I think what I noticed in history, I don't know if you ever noticed it, but the Olympics generally are a show of power by major nations. I remember when they did the Olympics in Russia once, they made a point of duty for the Russian team to be incredibly strong because it's like they wanted to show. I think I could have Hitler do it in Germany, sorry. But they wanted to show or exert that power. Yeah. So even though with the United States, they're probably used to doing that. And then realized that they don't have a hope in the women's 100, 200. So Sha'Carri, with her personality and her time, the 10.72, really became that, she became that great hope. So because they want that superiority, they just really, really wanted to believe in her.
Yeah, that's really true. That's how I was looking at it as well. Like, based on the fact that she's the fastest that they have right now as a female, right? I mean, when it comes down to the 100 sprints, we know that somebody like Alison Felix can do pretty good if it is that she wanted to command the 100. However, you know, Alison is getting to that point now, so I think she's just focusing on her particular event, the 400, so she can do a closing out of her career. Huh?
Yeah, her pet event.
Yeah, so I don't think that she would have focused on this. And basically, I can't think of anybody else for the 100 sprints for the American team.
There isn't.
I can't, because even when you look at it,
I think they had a couple people in the final though.
For what? Olympics
for the 100, yeah.
Yeah, man, they had like two or three. I don't remember. Probably something like that. Yeah, man, I think it was like 2 or 3. Because I think the same two persons that they had in the race
today.
For the meet, yes. So Daniels and another person, I don't remember what her name was. And both, even when you look at the fact that Daniel came fourth, when Sha'Carri was actually talking, you could see Daniel pass behind her, and she was pretty excited. She was pretty excited, and remember, she just come fourth. Yes, so it's like you see where, because I think that probably she would have run a personal best, or probably something close to her personal best.
Yeah.
The other athlete in the race from America, she actually ran a personal best. I know that for sure, right? She actually ran a personal best. So you see where persons are grateful for that experience. However, I know probably pass out a whole other thing, but you know, even fast forwarding now to the post-race interview that Sha'Carri did.
That was a train wreck. No, but like somebody needs to sit her down and do some media training with her, because all I could hear, and maybe as counselors we are going to hear things differently, but all I could hear is grief being juxtaposed or being imposed as confidence.
Yep.
So she's saying all of this.
Exactly.
I'm here, bro. You came ninth.
You could have heard the emotions in her voice. Like, I think that probably if the interview was any longer, they probably forced her to stay out any longer, she would have cried. Right there.
Yo,
you could hear.
I'm gonna catch some flack for saying this, but I observed it. You see, even when she was talking, you know, such a sound like when some people preach though.
You mean, bro?
You know.
I almost post on Facebook and say, you know, the Sha'Carri low-key is basically a preacher though. Like,
I was just waiting for that organ to come in. That she was pointing that. And she did.
Don't be surprised if it's a Kev on stage do something.
Yo,
don't be surprised if it's something like that.
And I'm like, bro, you came 9. Let's be objective here. It's not your fault that you smoke the weed, that's your fault. But being out of race shape, that's okay. It's like you put all of this pressure on yourself to deliver. No, you don't deliver. You know, accept it's like you're trying to avoid the fact that you didn't deliver. And you're like, yo, I'm still here. We know you're still here, and we know you're going to be a thorn in our side for times to come.
Yeah.
And truth be told, we are looking forward to that battle for years to come.
Yep.
So
that's true. And I mean, like, even for her, I'm happy you wait here, because one of the things that I was actually looking at, I was talking about it earlier, is that we can't necessarily blame she alone. And that's why I say we want to look on the psychological aspect of everything. Because as we mentioned, you know, the passing of her parent, of her mother, that was pretty emotional for her to go through. Then for her to be embraced by the world in a different way, because remember, she's coming from collegiate championships and all of that. So she's just used to Americans cheering her name and all of these things. So because remember, I said that she had like a couple thousand followers before, right?
Exactly.
Before that 10.72 run, she just had a couple thousand followers. But after that 10.72 run, of course, as I say, America is so good at actually pushing, just pushing this whole thing about, or just advertising themselves really actually. And so because of that, she's now in a position where she has to try and live up to the hype in which they would have created. And because of her personality along with it, right? So one of the things that you said, and I would use it as one of my major pointers, I think that she really needs to sit down with somebody, well, not necessarily to sit down with somebody to learn about interviews only, but just have a mentor. Like, I think that a mentor in this case would be a very good thing for her. Recognizing that she has the raw talent and she has the flamboyant, type of thing, like a Usain Bolt type of thing, really and truly going naturally.
Personality.
She does
have the personality.
Yeah, she really has that personality, and I think that she would be a really good star for the sport, as many persons have been saying. However, I just think that the anti-humble behavior is working against her.
No. Well, here's the thing. I think it is a deliberate ploy because remember, as I said, the Americans think this thing to levels that we are not necessarily interested in or we have yet to reach. They know how to play the villain. They know that every good story, and it's seriously, if you watch a show and there is no villain, there is no counter to the main character, it's just going to be like this right across the board. So even with her now, I know based on how she positions herself, she mentally puts herself in a position of being that villain, of being the person who is not liked. And it's a deliberate thing. But you have to temper it as well. Because the thing is that how athletics is so fickle is that things can change rapidly. Just like how she went up, she can say one thing, have one bad race, and everybody does. Because now, I hope she doesn't have that phone. I pray to God she don't have that phone, because I know that we are going to be in her mentions abusing that poor little girl. Because
I mean, even so far.
Yeah.
Even so far.
The memes have been merciless. You see, Matthew Samuda, he's what? I think the Minister of State in the Minister of Security. I thought the State Minister. And this man posted Sha'Carri goodly could win champs. And I said, bro.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it.
Bro.
I saw it.
I'm like, yo.
And many other Jamaicans have been, because even from the start, and this is why the rivalry kind of came about. I believe it was just her attitude towards the whole Jamaican camp, in a sense, are the females coming out to represent Jamaica. So it's not a matter of us just having a simple rivalry with America, because that has been going on for years. Like when you look on both against Gatlin and Bramell and Noah Lyles and Tyson Gay, all of these people, the rivalry has always been there. Over the years, that's always been there. However, it is based on how persons, it is based on the attitude that we get, or the energy that we get from the person. So when it is that you have a Tyson Gay, for example, versus a Usain Bolt, many Jamaicans didn't really have anything bad to say about Tyson Gay, right? And he was consistently a rival for Usain Bolt. But when it became a Gatlin versus Usain Bolt, Gatlin was always up in the media talking about what he's going to do from when he's not going to do, and how he's going to take this and I'm going to take that. So, that's where the rivalry, the bitter part of the rivalry come from now. And then you have other athletes that came about and actually maintain the same stance in a sense. And one of the things that I realized as well is that Sha'Carri is actually, it seems as if she's pretty close with Gatlin.
Yeah.
Which kind of explains a whole lot to me.
But that's why I'm showing you that it's deliberate. They know what they're doing. It's like it's playing the anti-hero, because I remember, I don't know if you remember the Olympics where I think Bolt had, was it the Olympics or World Championships, where Bolt had the injury and he had to skip the trials and he got the bye because he had the times, he had already run the times to make it. And Rogers and them boy there, we'd have a whole heap of things to say about it, about our process.
Yes.
No, what is ironic about them saying that is that when another other day them did want Sha'Carri go regardless, they wanted her to circumvent the rules.
As a matter of fact, they even want Bennett.
So it just shows you the irony. But as I said, because many times, I think the point about countries using athletics to show their superiority is oftentimes missed, because our intention in that sense is not, it's really to show that we're up with the best, but it's not really a superiority thing as much as with other countries. So we don't get that. But I think what also took place is that we know that Sha'Carri is fast and all that, but we expected her to enter the space giving due respect with those who were there before her.
Exactly.
But just now, playing the anti-hero, to play that role well, she had to not pay any respect. Because if you remember, that's what it's a tactic that people use from time to time in the art of war and everything.
But
because Alka do it. Because Alka do it as well.
Yeah, and I was going to mention that apparently did something similar to it. As an American athlete as well. Noah Lyles, because when he came on the scene, he was seen or observed to be very disrespectful towards us as Jamaicans. Like, just the plain bragging and all that stuff, they're behaving as if they recognize they have a Safa, Johan Blake and Bolt before him. So, yeah. So you can continue.
Yeah. So because it's that to create that back and forth. So when she come in at the space and they're like, we're like, bro, you run a 10.72. Shelly run that in her sleep. Sherika, literally take up 100 meter last week and run 10.76. And you run 10.72 one time. And you feel like it. Bro, no, I will take it personal. And then the thing too is that we have projected our emotions on her as well. Because I was thinking about it. I said it to my friend today. I see somebody post it. As Jamaicans, we hate when somebody boasts power in any sphere of life.
Yeah.
If you want to rile us up, hype power. All if you have right to hype. Hype power, we are going to carry it to the grave if you don't mind, sharp. So now, with Sha'Carri, can you remember there was Carmelita Jetta at one point?
Yep.
Right? And see, she come and gone. And it was that same brash, that abrasive attitude. Yeah. So you can tell that it is either cultural or something that is taught to them. Yeah. But yeah, man. So with Shea thing, right now, may I tell her, right now, she there some, because I don't know if you noticed, but I think there was a story that came out that she withdrew from the 200.
Yep, she did, because she was expected to run the 200 meters as well. All right, welcome back, guys. As you can see, the video would have been cut out a while ago due to us not paying Zoom their money. And so we'll just continue the conversation and have a little bit of closing out. So if it is that you would want us to have more conversations surrounding athletics or perhaps things concerning athletics, you can let us know right here in the comment section. And I know you like to see the face of Peter and like to hear his views as well. So you can go ahead and give Peter a shout out in the comment section as well. And I'll be sure to add his handle in the comment section. But nevertheless, Peter, you can go ahead and let them know what your handle is so that you can find you on social
The
media.
Instagram handle is Phillip_Pitter. On Facebook, it's Life Lessons by Phillip Pitter. I don't use Twitter. I don't know how to use it. I think it's Andrew Pitter 90 over there, but I really don't know how to use it. So mainly Instagram and Facebook for now.
And Facebook. Well, and you already know that it's mostly Instagram for me. I go on Facebook sometimes, go fast around with people and all this, but not necessarily anything. So that has been our discussion, talking about the recent event surrounding Elaine Thompson-Herah, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Sherika Jackson, and Brianna Williams. I know we didn't even mention Brianna Williams too much in the conversation, but
Brianna, she's up and coming. You're up
and coming, and you are one of my faves, most definitely. Love your style, everything there is to love really and truly. So this has been another episode with me, Javaune Simpson, on Speak Up, of course. This has been another episode on Speak Up with Javaune Simpson.
And with Phillip Pitter as well.
And with Phillip Pitter as well. I don't know what I was saying. Just so take care, much love, God bless.
All right.